Morning, Rabiah.
Hey,
Can you hear
Khon,
me?
how are you?
I'm good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Sorry about the mix-up yesterday.
No worries. That's totally my fault. So it's okay.
I'm gonna put you on video for a second while I'm stopped, but I'm in
Sure.
the dropping my son who may or may not be faking his sickness off at schools.
I woke up
So,
kind of sick too, so maybe he is sick. I don't know.
he definitely was like warm yesterday. I picked him up about an hour early. But then today I'm like, really? Are you just milking it? So I was like, you need to go to school. You guys are going to be out like all next week. Bye. Go.
That's
Oh,
right.
for the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wow. You have a great
Right. Because
setup.
I know. Well, I thought somebody just told me today, Christmas is on Tuesday. I'm ill prepared. So,
Oh my
uh,
goodness.
yeah, there's that.
Working
Okay.
hard.
So what's going on? I'm excited to hear about
You're
you're
breaking
frozen.
up.
Am I breaking
Uh,
up? Okay, hold on. Let me take you off of
no,
Bluetooth. No. Fine. Okay. Is that better?
yeah, I think it might have been my internet, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were frozen, but then also like my Bluetooth was on and I felt like it wasn't uh working correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you been thinking about since we talked last?
Yeah, so I think since we spoke last, I've been thinking a lot about like what. So I took the past 2 weeks off just to
Okay.
figure out like, what it is, because I've been in software for about 9 years now,
Okay.
and I've been so deep into it. Like I just worked like consistently for 9 years, and like I hardly took any time off, and
Right.
then yeah, so then I'm like, you know what? I feel like now's a good time for me to really stop and think what it is and where I want to go, instead of me
Yeah.
just trudging along without stopping and thinking. So for about 2 weeks, I literally journaled for about 2 weeks straight.
Good for
Um,
you.
if you look, because then I have the iPad with a pen, so like I just wrote every single day. So then yeah, so then I think when I refined what it was I want to do, I want to build tools to extend uh, others, like either companies or individuals' reaches. So for
Love it.
example, like with the reading, if I go with the reading program, like I want to extend the power or the reach of the teacher,
Yes.
right? Because imagine as a teacher, you have so many students. You might have 10 to 30 students, and you might not be able to sit with every student and do the repetitive reading or math or whatever it is,
Right.
because there are certain things that a kid requires, like practice, a lot of practice, and
Yep.
teachers might not have the time, or parents or tutors might not have the time for every student to do that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like machine learning or just AI in general, like can help in that aspect, where
Right.
it can pick out that repetitive part so that the teachers can actually do like the human emotional portion of teaching.
Right. And making a connection with the kid. Right.
Exactly. Because I feel like kids need that, like a
Oh,
lot.
100%.
Yeah. So I'd rather have computers do like the boring portions and then have teachers do like the more like human portions.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I think like that's my frame of thinking, is that I want to build tools for
Okay.
either like companies, teachers. So another idea that I was kind of like just thinking about, because a friend was talking to me about like some like business idea he had about like pop-up stores for businesses.
Okay.
And then he was talking about it, in my head I was thinking, like, oh, I would much rather be in the business of building tools for businesses to like have analytics on customers. So like,
Yep.
where are your customers, lingering? What products are they looking at? What are they saying? Because I
Yep.
can record voice and like do analytics on what customers are saying. Is that a positive comment? Is that a negative comment? So I feel like with the skills that I have now, because I spent so many years doing like front end work, back end work, mobile work, and I spent 3 years just studying like machine learning like deeply. Like I was going to like the math behind it, doing the derivation, blah, 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 blah. So I've just been thinking a lot about, okay, I should build tools, you know, for companies, individuals, teachers, and so forth. And so right now with the reading program or the education program, like, so I love the aspect of it, how it can actually make a big impact for like students and teachers and so forth, and like, you know, help move society forward. So I think the situation, like the biggest, I don't know, I guess hurdle would be finding out what teachers really need. Because I feel like I can build something and I might think I know what needs to be built, but if it doesn't fit into their current, if it doesn't fit into what they need or how schools and classrooms are structured or how it's used, then it's gonna fail. So I feel like I need to really understand, you know, like what do teachers need so that I can build that versus me just building something that I just dreamed up without being like in their shoes.
Right. So, and that's where I can help you. So I told my husband about you after we had our last call, and he is 100% on board with giving you whatever time that you need to, you know, if you want him to preview it, if you just want to talk through, you know, the machinations of how the school works from a teacher perspective, from a administrative perspective, from a business perspective, and then like, you know, how they're incentivized, the things that he has seen kind of go wrong. And his specialty is reading and writing. So that's what his PhD is focused on. And then he can give you, you know, all kinds of intros and access to the world-renowned folks who are about reading or whatever, right? Which we would want them to like endorse what you're doing anyways, because that would help get it into the schools faster. If as one play, and then obviously just in the commercial marketplace, you know, consumer related, where you could be marketing directly to parents. But yeah, that to me is the easier part. I know it doesn't feel like it to you because it's not the part you know. But yeah, I can set that call up whenever you'd like, and you can pick his brain how often you need to.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I think in my head, like as I'm thinking about this, at least to me, like the hardest part of this, you know, like this business or this field, it's setting up the organization so that it can get into, you know, like schools and so forth and so forth. Because I feel like the technology part is there, but it's more of a matter of pulling it all together. So I feel like for this business or this field, it's more about like pulling or organizing the right resources. You know, because I can make the tech happen, I can make, you know, all that happen. But
right.
It's the organizational part is where, okay, how, like, I need to get endorsements, I need to get this into schools, I need to meet the right, like, you know, meet the right people and so forth.
Yes. Well, we could definitely help you with that piece. And then I think that it also would be a good idea next year, like Q1 next year, to introduce you to some other members of my team on the technical side. And you know, we are focusing right now as a company on this whole digital transformation piece, right? Which is exactly what you're talking about, which is, you know, getting your, you know, building these tools for people to be able to get to their customer faster, you know, with more experience, with deeper understanding, and then be able to get the data and measure it. And right now, you know, most companies are failing at that, right? They can't get their apps developed quick enough. They don't, if they are capturing information, they may not be capturing the right data points, and or have anybody or anything, a tool to analyze the data. So I think you're spot on with that, because that's where the world is going, right? This is what every company is a tech company now that sells something. And whether they know it or not, the technology has to be seen as the enabler of growth instead of the burden on your costs, right? Like, we just need this because we needed a laptop and a printer, but you guys aren't really doing anything for the business. No, everything is built on tech these days, so everything has to go that way, and you really have to have a digital strategy. And so the tools that you're talking about are very much in line with that theme.
Right. Yeah, and I got our Russian developers at the company I'm working at, comfortable, working with an extended team. So if like any tech, because I know how to like architecturally build. I can either build it directly or design it, and then upload it to Russian developers and so forth. So like so at this point in my life, like I want to make sure I maximize what I'm capable of doing. So yeah.
No, I love that. So have you given any more thought to when you may want to, and how, whether you're going to, try to stay with your current employer and then build something on the side gradually, whether you're going to just kind of jump, and what the timeline is around that?
Yeah, so I think at this point, so I was thinking about that as well. So I'm thinking about continuing working, just because the current setup is actually pretty flexible, because we have a work from home policy.
Okay.
So most of the week I'm pretty much working at home, and it's almost as if I'm like self-employed, except that when they need me or to resolve bugs, I can resolve and so forth.
Sure.
So like right now it's fairly flexible. It's not like a traditional 9 to 5 and you'd be there exactly. It's more if I get done whatever they need, then they're okay with it. So I feel like that situation is actually pretty good. So I'll just make sure I'll keep performing, make sure things are running smoothly, and then on my own time, like I'll continue building whatever it is that I'm.
Good. I love it. Yeah, I mean, if I am not a proponent one way or another, and I definitely think if you can maximize both and not have the stress of finances while you're trying to build something creatively, that's absolutely the way to go, right? Okay, so
and like if I find a direction that I know for sure this is exactly what I'm gonna do, like I have no problem like quitting and doing that full time.
Right.
Like financially, I'm pretty stable. Like I have quite a bit saved up.
Okay.
So it's more like I want to make sure I know exactly what it is I'm building versus kind of dabbling around without like an exact direction.
Yeah.
So I think once I have an exact direction and I know for sure that's gonna require a lot more time, then for sure like I'll drop the job and do it full time.
Right. Okay. No, I think that's smart. And, the beautiful thing is you can always change your mind at any time, one way or the other. So, everything isn't as hard and steadfast as people make it seem.
Right.
So, from my perspective, one of my next steps would be to get you in contact with Jason, and have you be able to ask him some questions, and he to outline to you kind of, the inner workings of the school from a high level, and then you guys can go as deep into one theme as you want to, and then he can give you some other things to either watch or read up on, or people to reach out to. Not specifically for the reading app, but is there other things that you feel like you need my help with, or this is your time, so I want to make sure you're getting what you need out of it.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much. I think at this point, like I think that would be the main thing, just to connect with him and find out, like, because then I want to hear from the other side's perspective, right? Like, hey, because he understands the schools, he understands the education system.
Right.
But like getting his input would be super valuable, because like I don't want to build some imaginary thing I have in my head with like a
really, you need to know what motivates the people, and you need to understand the political landscape, just like with anything. And he definitely will be able to kind of shed the light on that from several different vantage points. One being from being a teacher, So he started off as a special ed teacher for kids with learning disabilities and emotional, and then, you know, climbed the ladder to becoming a principal, and then left, and now is in academia. So he's seen it, you know, from all levels, which is a good thing. So he has a really pretty good breadth of how stuff works, and he's very well connected, though he doesn't, in my opinion, leverage those connections as much as he could. But he is. So yeah, no, and he'd love to help. So he was very interested when I told him about it. So I'll intro you guys via email, and then you guys can get something set up, and then you and I should talk again, maybe like the week of the 9th. I'm going to be in Vegas for CES.
Nice.
Are you going?
I'm not. But I should look into it. I've always been curious about like what happens.
So this is my first time too. So they have CES, like the regular one, and then they have CES government, which kind of overlaps. So I think CES starts on like the 8th and government starts on the 10th. But the government one is like limited to only like 200 people. I've been trying to get in for like 2 years, and I finally got in this year. So I'm very excited, but I'm most excited about just like walking the floor and like seeing all the cool new technology, and that, you know, those tickets for regular CES are pennies compared to the government one.
Really?
So yeah. You should tell your company to pay for you to go.
I know. Great idea. I like that.
There's a software development track. But yeah, and then let's talk again maybe that week. I'll tell Katrina to reach out to you with some dates, and then hopefully you and he will have connected by then. And then eventually I'll be in LA at some point, if not January, February, to close some business with the county. So you and I can then meet up in person, and it'll be great. But yeah, we'll just keep talking. And then obviously you know how to get a hold of me if something pops up that's time sensitive before then that you need some help with. Just let me know.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I love this. I think this is going to be great. I'm super, super excited about your app. So yeah, we will go forth and conquer.
Cool. I love it.
All right, then. Thanks, Khon. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, bye.